All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bahadash. Double honors to our apostles, peace and salutations, Allah, sincerity and charity, with humiliation on the earth for four winds. You are salute. All right. Today we got a good lesson lined up, Lord willing, to be edifying and to serve His purpose. All right. But before the brother get into his lesson, I just want to say, the brother Wamba, yeah, he did a beautiful lesson. It's on time lesson. All right. But I also want to touch a little bit, at least not on that, but what a topic surrounding that. All right, going into polygamy. Okay. Now we know that polygamy in this society is something that is looked down upon. It is looked at as something that's being evil or wicked. All right, and people have this a great disdain for that. But yet they could stomach two men being together or two women being together. Nothing said. And that shit is glorified, in this society. But let a man say he have multiple wives. That's the dirtiest piece of shit done. Understand? But here's the thing. Polygamy is actually the supreme power Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Because how else we gonna regenerate? All right? How else we gonna bring back the nation? Okay? Like I was telling the Hakim them, you have over there in France and Switzerland, DNA testing is outlawed. All right? That is outlawed. Okay? Because those people understand that, hey, look here, anytime a man got to do a DNA test to see if that child is actually his, and if the results come back that ain't his child, that means that's a family destroyed. Right? You see? All right? But again, anytime you talk down against polygamy, you actually talking down against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because this whole thing about monogamy, this is from Esau Edom. When you go into the origin of monogamy, you can see that goes back to the Greek and Roman captivity. Like I was telling Doc in the earlier, with polygamy, you could live a better life. You could be richer than how you is today. All right? Polygamy is actually a part of our heritage. Okay? But yet, people want to talk down about it. You have these Christians who don't know the Bible. Okay? They'll pull that precept in 1 Timothy. Someone can grab that 1 Timothy 3 or something like that, or 3 and 4. All right, they'll read that and they'll close the book. All right, and they say, see, that's what the Bible says. Go ahead, brother.
So not here. This society, they're on the side with multiple men as opposed to one of multiple women.
That's it. Right. Right. See, it wasn't no party type shit. Right. Right. Because we have laws on these things. Okay. Bring that precept, brother. It's the note to start at for it's two. It's a lock here, right? They'll go straight to this precept and they'll read this precept, right?
A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, to teach.
Right. Now it says a bishop. I'll read that again.
A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
Right. They read that part and they read something. You see what I said? But they didn't read it in its full context. Read the first line in verse 1, brother.
This is a true saying.
You hear what it say?
This
This
is a true saying.
this is a true saying. Right? So Paul is letting you know, man, he's speaking as a man. So there ain't no law stating that a man should have one wife. All right, so he's giving counsel on this. Read it again, brother.
This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop,
Right, so if you desire the office of a bishop, all right, then this is how to go about it. Right? See what I said? But if there ain't no law stating that you can have one wife, it don't work like that because the law tells us what? If we in the art under the end, come and go to our Revelation 2, 20, 25, 26. All right, he's going to give us power over the nations. All right.
he that overcometh shall deliver us into the end, and him will I give power over the nations.
You see that? All right. So guess what? All of these different heathens and shit, we can have power over them. All right. We also kings. So when we go into these other nations, and if we see a woman we want, whatever, we take a liking now, guess what? We taking that. You understand? Yes, I'm when you please bro.
What a lot of people, what a lot of Jakes don't realize is that polygamy actually helps to build the kingdom.
That's it.
See, they have this concept. What if that man wants any church? If he get this one pregnant, it can take him years before he get to the number. But what if you want 20 children?
Right.
You see, it'll take him a longer time. But when you look at it, what a lot of women don't realize, if another woman is in the household, that would alleviate some of the workload off of you. You know, you don't have to clean as much. You don't have to cook as much. You don't have to have sex as much. You see, but where things go wrong, you saw women in their mind. You know, they will be all he ever. You can't never be everything that man ever. You see, you can't never be spectrum because believe it or not, some qualities that you may lack another woman has. You see, some strong points that you may have, another woman may have. But if like now just brought up Rachel and Leah, they have that dynamic. You see,
Really, when you look at the track record of being monogamous or whatever, it ain't good. All right, that's actually taken away from us.
from the household,
See what I say?
God. During that time, it was like they were feeding armies and whatnot, and nations were willing, especially males and children for war. Right? They were always at war with other nations.
Right? With polygamy, you basically enriching your family. All right, you get something that you want. All right, and today, we can prove that.
so we have to cut down our numbers.
That's it. That was all by design because this devil he understand the nature of women. All right, we not just coming into this knowledge of the woman and their nature is because we at the end of this damn man's kingdom.
God.
This man know our woman better than we know them, and that's all women all across the nations. All right,
Right?
He used our women as weapon against them.
that's it.
They were weaponized, okay, to bring us down, to destroy us, to keep us, under subjection, right? And he gave them authority and power, and made laws and whatnot, okay, to give them that control and power to defend them.
All right, but now, yeah, it is now. We're coming into a time now. All right, better woman is gonna revert back to her natural order. All right, and we coming into that time where polygamy is gonna be accepted. It ain't gonna have no other choice. All right, and we got the scriptures and they can prove it.
Yeah.
All right, get Isaiah. You got something, brother?
Salakia, yeah, we speak on the woman, at least the man having more than one wives. Okay, right now, okay, you will go on YouTube, go on Google, and you will research it. Okay, right now over in India, you have one particular man, or he have a business. He have about 30 to 35 wives. Okay, and guess what? All of those wives in subjection. Okay, and keeping their family business going. All right, between those 35 wives, he have some 60 to 70 children. Okay, and all of them know the routine. Everybody working together. You see, their family. Okay, and over there, it was said that a lot of women who are single. Okay, what they do? All right, and they go to this man. All right, and basically they would do anything for him so that he would be able so that they will be able to come his wife,
I'm one of the wives.
become one of the wives, and then the way how we sleep with them. Okay, he doesn't sleep with them like no orgy like we's going to do. Okay, but this wife will spend a night in his room, not a week, another wife. Okay, so that's how it was, and that's how it is a lot.
Right? That's a righteous thing.
Right?
Right? Get Isaiah 4:1. Right? Because that's like you say, that time coming where a man is going to be a hiding place for a woman. All right, you see now, everything now is about to be away from these women. Okay, so that's why I say they're going to revert right back to their natural order. And polygamy is going to be accepted. All right,
That's it. This Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Right? To take away that shame. All right. So you having multiple wives is going to be accepted. Understand? Not just any man. Okay. All right. But now, what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you this in ancient time. All right, that this actually happened. Okay, I can prove it right now. I know we always said that the scriptures speak. Let's get Judges chapter 8, verse 30, brother. Okay.
This Judges 8 and 30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, but he had many wives.
Gideon had 70 sons, which is 70 sons. For he had many wives, right? You see that? Now what is right? Read the next verse, brother.
And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech.
Right. And his concubine, all right, had a son. So that's 71 children. So that let us know the scriptures that tell us that that's 71 different women that Gideon have or had. 70 wives plus one concubine. That's 71 different women.
Right.
So he had a son with each one of those women. And guess what? That was accepted.
Was he wicked for that? He was a man of the law.
There you go. All right. We could go on and on and on. Yep. All right. Let's get Psalms 24 and 1, brother.
Psalms 24 and 1. Psalm of David. The earth is Yahweh's, what is thou? The world and they that dwell therein.
That's it, brother. That's not here, but yeah, man. All right. This is letting us know that, hey, look, here, polygamy is going to be accepted once again. All right.
It's a lot here, right? Just do. Okay, that is even happening now. Right now as we speak. Okay, check the artist Neo. Everybody should know Neo. Neo got 3 wives right now, 4 wives. Shaquille O'Neal. He have got 3 or 4 wives right now. Nick Cannon. Right? Look at mature. You know what I mean? All right.
Make your point, brother.
And another thing is, the reason for this is most of the time, sometimes, okay, you go with some of these women, you go lay down with some of these women, you want, or you she don't be into it, or, you might be on whatever. Okay, you promote it and get nothing else to do with it, all right? So, and this is the case why, we as men and as king, as God, should be entitled, to another woman or wife, more than one wife. Okay?
That is going to happen, brother.
So it's happening.
No.
King shall joy in thy strength, Yahweh. And in thy salvation of great shall he rejoice.
Right. We are kings. You understand? We are kings. So how much more? If you think when we see a woman, you don't think we're gonna get that? Let's read the next verse.
How is God his desire? And has God beholden the request of his lips?
also serving the Lord. All right, so everything is going to fall in its order. All right, yeah, man, Lord willing, that was edifying. You got it, brother.
Yeah, very edifying information and knowledge. Yeah, that's what we are and serving, being there right order, and not ruling over us. But that's what we are subjected to now. This lesson that I try to do is the topic is what comes out of the heart. Okay, the heart and what comes out of the heart. All right, how it defiles a man. Okay, so literally, we know that the heart is a muscular organ about the size of a clenched fist. Okay, whose function is to pump blood throughout the body. All right, to the cells of the body. Okay, producing energy. Okay, causing metabolism to take place, all right? Whereby the energy is released from food and oxygen, okay? See, this oxygen is combined also in the blood. It's transported by the blood along with, and they combine in the cell through a process of metabolism and breaking down, changing the food, the oxygen into energy, okay? Giving us strength or whatever to do work or whatever, okay? However, the biblical and spiritual concept of the heart is with one's mental capacity, okay? Can you give me Matthew 22 and 27, okay? The heart is not referred to by the Bible as an organ, okay? Concerned with blood and being a part of the circulatory system. Right?
Matthew 22:37. Thou shalt say unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Okay? So this heart is not a pumping station. It is not a muscular organ that is pumped, that is function is to pump blood through the body. When he says you should love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, he's talking about your mind, okay? Your thoughts, all right? Let your mind and your thoughts be unto him, all right? Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy mind, and all thy soul, and all thy body. Attention.
Right, when the Christians them say, "Oh man, the Lord only want your heart," that time they beating on their chest. The Lord only want that organ with his pump blood.
Yeah, that's exactly what they mean.
And so, in other words, they give the Lord the organ that pumps blood, but their mind and their soul, okay, is restricted from them. Okay, he's restricted. That is a restriction now of their heart. Okay, that is their mental order and belief and thoughts. That is hidden from the Most High God. All right, you take that away from the hour.
Yeah, it's a lot here, right? Yeah, because they like to say they love the point of their heart as well, what's beating in their chest. Okay, the Lord to speak from your heart. From this to pumping blood. Okay, but like you say, they ain't talking about the ab in the Hebrew, which is their mind. Okay, this is why they will say that the laws and statutes are no more. You say because it's not inside their hearts, they're in their minds. You see?
The scripture said, "Man, the heart is wicked."
Yeah.
Right. So that means now, right? That means now the organ with pumping.
That is deceitful.
There you get. There you
I cannot be wicked and deceitful. Pumping some wicked blood. You do some wicked shit.
go.
The heart wicked because he pumping mind plug it.
And the thing about it, they do say, man, you get a wicked high.
This Philippians 4:7. And the peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Mashiach Yahushua.
Our hearts and minds, all of them, guiding our thoughts and conduct, okay, in the heavenly conduct, in the heavenly behavior, in the heavenly thoughts and work, okay. The spiritual realm, all right. Being spiritual, allowing the spirit of the Most High God being our thoughts, see, this is in your heart and head, loving the Lord with all thy heart, and all thy soul, and all thy mind. Okay? And not the organ that pumps blood, okay, or receives blood, or whatever. Okay? Give me Proverbs 23:7.
Proverbs 23:7. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat, eat and drink, said he.
Whatsoever a man thinketh in his heart,
You see, yo, the heart keep coming up with your thoughts, with your mind. That's what that is speaking about. That ain't have nothing to do with the muscle in the chest pumping blood.
And now, Israel, what do Yahweh thy power require of thee? But to fear thy Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes. Obey him, to keep his ways is right. Your heart would pump blood. That don't do nothing but pump blood.
how can I keep the commandments? How can I do it?
See, I don't have no mind. I don't have no thoughts. I just pump blood. See?
And it said to love the Lord. And this ain't have nothing to do with no emotions. Because you know, Jake will say, oh, they say love. So they say, like, love with some type of emotion.
Yeah.
No. The option work.
That's it.
Do these things.
Huh?
You understand? Follow them with actions.
That's it.
The thing about it, what Jake is doing, you know, Jake is relating the heart thing with Valentine's Day and love and all of this, you know, all of this loving and thing that come around Valentine's Day. This is understanding of the heart and love. That's why he's thinking that he should know that organ that they relate to the heart. That's
All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 15.
So is he, if he is of the will, his thoughts will be contrary to the way of Yahweh. Okay? So if a man is of the will, his thoughts will be contrary to that of Yahweh. Alright? So you have to have the love of Yahweh in your heart, within your heart. The love of the Most High to be within your heart and in your mind. Okay? Within your heart and your mind. Okay? Your basic, your right? You will do the things of the world and not of the Most High God. All right?
Right. Let me understand the English language. That's garbage. All right. We go back to the original language to understand the meaning of the word. We know the meaning of God means law, means mind.
Right? That's the back of what the brother was saying. It's Matthew 15 and 8. Just people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. That's what right? I jump down to verse 18. But those things which proceeded out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceeded what evil thoughts. So that muscle in the chest have evil thoughts then.
Yeah.
All right. Murders, adulteries, fornication, theft, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile the man. All right. But to eat with unwashed hands defile not the man.
This voice on 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So you will love the world, right? You love verse 6, verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay, so these things that are of the world, you loving these things of the world and following after the world, you know, your heart, mind, and soul. You're not giving your heart to the Most High God, but you're giving it to the world and the things of the world. All right? And this is why the Most High said,
Once again, goes right back to your mind, your thoughts. Okay, because your thoughts
my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but a demonstration of the Spirit and of power. 14, 14, verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of power, for they are foolishness unto him. And again, he do them because they are spiritual discerned. Okay, so the natural man, he is carnal, he's of the world. He receives not the things of Yahweh. Okay, the things he cannot love Yahweh with all his heart and all his mind. Because he's of the world, the natural man is not searching, okay, the things that is loving Yahweh. He cannot receive the things of, okay, of Yahweh. Right? And so this he is carnal, okay, and it's not of the word of Yahweh. Right? Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever therefore will not the world is an enemy of Yahweh. Whoever is a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh. They are contrary to the word, to the ways of Yahweh. They do belong to the word of Yahweh. They don't belong to Yahweh. His command, His word, and His commandment. Scripture said, man, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy. Lust to envy. Lust and envy the things of the world. Okay? So the spirit, if the spirit is of the world, it lusts to things, but if the spirit is of the power, your spirit will lust to envy these things of the world. Your spirit will lust for Christmas and Valentine's and Easter. All the grace and then humble.
Okay, he gave it more grace, whereby he said he resisted the crowd. And I did one lesson one time with grace, and it stated that how you know that Yahweh has grace, okay, how we have grace, because he said when he have grace, we would be separated from the world and the things of the world, okay. All of the world you are separated from when the grace of Yahweh is within you, because he said, and I think it's First Corinthians or Second Corinthians 6 or 7, when he said we should have no the house of Yahweh should have no dwelling with that of Satan. Okay, but what concord the love of Yahweh with that of Belial. Okay, so His grace will separate us from all these things of the world. Right? And so if we have the grace of Yahweh within our hearts, we will be separated from the loving things of the world.
For what fellowship hath righteousness and unrighteousness? What communion hath light and darkness?
So grace is given to those that are from above. His grace is given to us, and that's why we separate ourselves from the world in most cases. In joining together in these feasts and celebration, Mother's Day. Okay, well, you want to have mothers mothers gonna have a day. Get the Passover, the piece of food, all right, the piece of babe offering, whatnot. Those are the feast days, okay? Those are the days they can celebrate. And mothers, because what? Because the natural process, because they put in their duty to give birth and to incubate and give birth and raise a child, they're going to give a day for that. Huh?
Touching on the same with that, yeah, that goes back to women worship.
Self worship. They want to be glorified. All right?
And
And then,
also,
go ahead.
yeah, and the scripture tells you in the New Testament, because you put on a pedestal, and our people would even put the most high. You don't want to put the most high.
And this is why, they went when the disciples, the mothers, them for the children the disciples was in the right spirit because they were them and them trying to train them up. The Yahweh Shai, he didn't say that let the children come unto me to glorify no mother. The mothers them wasn't supposed to be glorified. That was for the children because he said that he that accepted the children of the kingdom of heaven is the child of God. This is him accepting these children and glorifying them. Okay, letting them be in his presence. But the mothers them they're stealing that thunder and what God is saying. Okay, they're being glorified by this scripture or precept and giving themselves all over the world. Stealing the children and this and that. He wasn't. That glory wasn't supposed to be for them. Okay, so right there, Mark 7:21.
This is Mark chapter 7, verse 21. It says, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the mind.
Okay, so evil thoughts, evil deeds, okay, and evil deeds and action of this, okay, these defile a man, these corrupt a man, these come from without the heart, the mind, okay, and soul, right? These are the things which defile a man, right? Other things like verse 23.
These are equated with foolish thought.
Okay, exactly. God, I just want to say that, but
Yeah.
yes.
But one of the words is it says that defile a man is foolishness. Okay, go about your foolish thoughts.
That's it, that's
from the heart, from the mind, okay? Not the organ now, not the organ. Verse 18, Mark 7:18. He said unto them, are ye so without understanding also?
Proceed out of the mouth, forth from the heart, and they defile the mouth.
Yes, so those things which proceed out of the mouth, they come from the heart, and they defile the man. Okay? Those things which come out of the mouth, they come from the heart, okay? From your mind. All right? Verse 19. Verse 19.
Matthew 15 and 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile the mouth. Eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
Okay? These are the things which defile the mouth, which come from the heart, mind, which lead to deeds. Okay? So, finish what I can bring another word to five. Go ahead. So, Mark, you right? I left the word to five. It says to make common, to make Levitically unclean. When you go into the Strongs, to make or consider profane. So let's make your thoughts and everything profane. Make a man profane. Evil thoughts and evil deeds. What comes out of the heart is not the
Matthew 15 and 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies.
God. All right, one of the words are saying adulteries. Okay, even theft, even murder. Okay, so now you may say, well, how could you murder somebody with your thought? Or how could you commit adultery with your thought? You see what I'm saying? Now, when you think about having sex with another man, commit adultery. See? When you thought about killing somebody, all right, guess what? That your thoughts now is going to lead to action. Lead the words, then it can lead to actions. You see, so that's how you commit adultery. That's how you commit right? But by thinking about it first.
This Matthew 5 and 27, verse 28. You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Pretty much, and that's a woman, let's say a woman that is married will have a husband will get a man. All right, if you look after like in a way of trying to get the lustful way, committed adultery. That's another man woman.
Right? God, you lusting after that man? Because that woman is one with that man. You see? But the Christians, they don't know that. That's one of the laws they cast behind their back. You see what I'm saying? So he can't go to court and say, man, like, yeah, he want to divorce his wife because she committed adultery. Definitely, she ain't committed no adultery because he said that the law didn't know.
So what comes out of the heart? see it, that which goes into the mouth, it ends up into the digestive system. It goes into the alimentary canal of the digestive system. It is swallowed, goes into the esophagus, and into the stomach where it is also chemical that gets digested. Really, starts to get, but you have chemical digestion in the mouth and also in the stomach also. Breaks enzymes secreted onto the food, all right, and breaking it down into a different substance, a small soluble substance, okay, that goes into the deodorant, changing it to a more simple form. Also, by level distributed on it and breaking down fat into fatty acids and whatnot. All right, it is then passed into the first part of the small intestine, where the digestion, chemical digestion is completed, and from there on into the second part of the small intestine, you have millions of finger-like projections called villi. Right, villi. These have a network of blood vessels in them, right? And the digested substance is okay, diffused from the intestine into the bloodstream, all right? And is carried to the organs of the body, all right? The waste is passed out into the rectum, all right? Where it is stored in the rectum until it's passed out to the anus. But the digestive system goes okay through the body, providing it with food and okay, and thereby changing it into energy. Right? This has nothing to do with defiles man or make a man feel okay, but that which comes out of the mind, okay, out of your thoughts, okay, which leads to your deeds and your action. That is what defile a man, not what goes into the mouth of the man, because what goes into the mouth of the man is used to nourish it, the body, okay, strengthen and nourish the body, and the waste is passed out, all right, into absorbed to the animal. Okay,
Right. So in other words, if you have an evil mind, when you read the scriptures, you can see they are also do the Lord told you in Leviticus chapter 11 what to eat and what not to eat. Because you may say, all right, I can eat pork, shrimp, and lobster, and all these abominable foods. Okay.
you would say you could eat them. Why? Because you have an evil heart.
An evil art, right?
Only a person with an evil heart of the world will say they can eat those things or do those things. The Bible, the Mosai, okay, it's contrary to the Mosai.
This Matthew chapter 6, 22. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Touching on the heart when it eye or the evil heart. And when you set your eyesight on, you see evil. If you have a dark eye, you set your eye on because it be darkness. So, thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? All you will see is perpetual darkness. You never see the good or the nothing. You see? That means Romans 8, blind you because you can't even see the light in it.
That's someone who have their conscience said, all right.
Right.
Okay, so, however, this heart that is referred to is unusual. It's an unusual heart. Okay, heart. It is the heart that makes up. This is the heart that makes up the body of the saints. Okay, no other nation have this kind of heart. Okay, our body is a temple which is concerned with our thoughts and our behavior and our conduct. Okay, the spirit of a person, the conduct and the spirit of a person. If you have the spirit of the Most High in you, okay, you would live according to His ways and His word. Okay, so our bodies have this heart that is okay of the temple of the Most High God. All right. So and then we are like the scriptures say we are lively stone of the temple of the Most High because we have this heart that is okay, that is towards him. We have this heart that is obedient to his words and his ways. All right? And not that we're not that organ that pumps the blood. We refer to that mind and soul and spirit, which is geared towards serving him. We give ourselves our heart. Okay? This is the most high. And thereby we are able to see in the spirit and live in the spirit and exist in the spirit and do the will of the most high. So I hope that lesson was very
As we move, something simple, something straightforward. And Lord willing, this lesson be edified. Also, these lessons are to be applied. All right. I'm going to go into a lesson that's called His ways of playing. So today I'm going to go into how the righteous, all right, is playing. All right, how righteousness is playing, and how wickedness is complicated. All right, the truth is plain. The scripture is plain. Now we know that there's parables, metaphors, and analogies in the scriptures, but the actual righteousness, all right, is Yahweh Shai. All right, that's simple and plain. All right, like I say, wickedness is complicated. So when you start to mingle the scriptures and twist the scriptures, to suit you for your own purposes, that's when it starts to get complicated. All right. So the Lord isn't asking us to do much. All right. All we have to do is have a sincere heart. Well, other muscle in the chest can be sincere. All right. So all you have to do is have a sincere heart and have works to go with your faith. Okay. Let's get in there, right? Let's get the book out. So Rock 39:24. Right? 39:24.
So Rock 39:24. As the spades are playing unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Done. So Yabashim Yahushai is a plane. You can't get no plainer than that. Don't be a liar. Don't be a thief. Don't be a murderer. You can't get no plainer than that.
Done.
See what I said? So his word is plain. And it also help you. Okay? So everything is plain to help you prosper. Okay? Because the truth brings forth doctrine. Okay? Repentance of sin is death. When you go away from the Lord's statutes and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, guess what? That brings forth problems and turmoil. Okay? You fighting with your own flesh. You fighting against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now you become an enemy to your own soul. All right? Read that again, brother.
So Rock 39:24. As the spades are playing unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a stumbling block to wicked men. All right? As we see niggas come in, they don't want to go, then they want to go straight into being a leader. Then they go off. Now then what? You get condemned. It ain't difficult at all. It ain't difficult at all to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? The Lord Himself said, what? His yoke is easy and His burden is light. So His ways of playing in the holy, it's not the job of the wicked, right? So let's get that. Matthew 11:24. 28. Yes, sir. All right.
Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Read.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your soul.
Right. And you're going to find rest when you start serving Yahushua. All right. Because now, guess what? You're no longer tied to the world. All right. So that's why it's easy to serve the Lord, which is why we're going to find peace in the scriptures. Okay. Read the next verse, brother. Verse 30.
Matthew 11:30. My yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Right. So it's an easy burden to serve the Lord because what is the Lord asking you to do? Put off sin and be a brother. All right. And that's basically the truth in a nutshell. All right. Stop being wicked. All right. And be a brother to other men that serve the Lord. That's not hard to do. That's not complicated at all. Once you start trying to believe your flesh, that's when it gets complicated. Okay. You might say, yeah, man, I the truth. You know, I know this, I know that. All right. I could teach what I was taught from the elders, right? But I ain't gonna follow orders. I'm not gonna follow the orders that the elders them give, right? So now, guess what? You complicating things. See what I said? That's wickedness. So let's follow the example that Yahushua left when he was on earth, and he made it plain, right? So if you can't get this truth, then guess what? It ain't for you. It can't get no simple, and it can't get much plainer than this. Right? That are Romans 11:7, right?
God. This is Romans 11:7. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right. So if you can't get the truth, it wasn't meant for you to get. See that? It's nothing complicated because the Lord ain't dealing with everybody. That's why he spoke in parables. See what I said? That's why his ways are plain to the holy and a stumbling block to the wicked. All right? That's why a nigga would say, well, man, if I going off, correct me. Right? Right. But then when the correction comes, you don't want to receive it. That's the stumbling block. And the stumbling block is only set up for the wicked. All right? But the wicked, they don't want to hear that. But if you're righteous, the correction is going to make sense. See what I said? That's what I was saying when I said, when the scripture said his ways are plain to the holy and the stumbling block to the wicked. It's only complicated if you're wicked. Yes, something? All right, go ahead, brother.
Sirach 32:14. Whoso fear Yahweh will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor. So if you fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you'll be disciplined by the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, the rebuke and the rebuke and the wouldn't seem grievous. You see, you would take heed to what is being said and not get caught up in, and it would not be a personal rebuke, righteous rebuke. Seeketh the Lord shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereof. See, verse 6 says, "Very power shall find judgment and shall keep the justice as a night." Simple God find an excuse according to his will. See, feel like you should know what the scripture actually tell you what
I think self-correction, you accept the doctrine. correction is part of our heritage.
Yeah.
Right. Then, okay, right. And then to speak about correction. Okay, you accepting correction, not accepting correction. Okay, you want to be what wise, young orphans. Okay, this was the scripture say in the same chapter, Romans 11 and 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye be wise in your own conceits. Okay, the blindness in part is happening unto Israel. Okay, what then? Okay,
Right. Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah. It's, okay, yeah. Second Corinthians 3 and 14. For their minds are blinded until this day remain in the same veil, okay, untaken away in reading of the Old Testament. So this veil that from the okay, it's not taken away from the reading of the Old Testament. Therefore, they can understand these words, right? And the scripture said before that. But then Israel had not obtained that which is secret, but the election had not obtained it. Okay, so this veil is over those that are not of the election, all right? And their minds are blinded because they are not saved. Okay, so they have no the veil untaken away in reading of the Old Testament, which is a veil, okay, which is a veil done away in a Mashiach, all right? So this veil is done away in a Mashiach. You know that keep us away, that was will. Okay?
Right. And when you go from that, it only becomes complicated. All right. Let's get a Habakkuk chapter 2.
Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved?
Right. And that's what we're doing right now. We're standing upon our watch. Yahweh Shem Yahushai set up watchmen for the nation of Israel, right? And that's what we do. We watch for the prophecies. We watch the news. We edify each other. We keep each other updated with prophecies. That's it. All right. And then we go, we fill in through the scriptures. All right. Read on, brother. 2 and 3.
God, Habakkuk 2:3. So 2 and 2, Salah. And Yahweh said unto me, answered me, and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Right. And we in that time right now.
That's it. Yep.
All right. The vision is speaking.
Yep.
All right. And the point is, we make this plain upon tables. You see that? We make it plain. How much more articles and precepts we're going to bring up to show you Babylon is going to be destroyed. Right? Guess what? That's plain. Right? The white man is the devil. Guess what? That's plain, right? All right? So we in them times where prophecies are no longer tarrying. All right? We right at the beginning of World War III. See what I said? We at the beginning of the subdermal being implemented. All right, we in those times. And guess what? Everything is plain. All right? It's plain to see everything the Lord said he was going to do. He's doing it right now. All right, that's plain. All right, someone grab Proverbs 8 and 7. All right?
Before you go on, right? As you say, okay, it's plain. Okay, we can see it. All right, this is the second address 9 and 5. For like us, all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay, it's plain.
27.
For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my life.
Right? Speaking about wisdom. Right? Yabashim Yahushai, wisdom is Yahushai. Right? Read the next verse, brother.
Proverbs 8 and 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There's nothing froward or perverse in them.
Meaning, there is nothing wicked. Voice about the truth. See that? Uh, that's it. You read the scripture. If you see something that's off, that's you. All right? That's your mind. The scriptures are pure because the word of the Lord has been purified and tried 7 times. All right? So if you're wicked and you're reading the scriptures, right, and you see something you don't understand, you see something that to you may be wicked, all right, that's because you wicked. All right, because the book of Bible tells us what? If your mind is defiled, guess what? Everything is defiled. You see that? You will see perversion everywhere if your mind is defiled and perverted. If your mind is holy, all right, the brother bring up precept. If you're single, you like that the whole body is living. If your mind is holy, except for righteousness. When you read the scriptures, guess what? You ain't gonna see nothing but righteousness. See what I said? Okay? Yeah, that was an actual precept.
Verse 9. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge.
Right. Why? Because wisdom is plain. You see that? Don't conduct yourself in a certain way. That's going to cast you out of the Most High presence, out of the Most High grace. That's plain. Right. Scriptures say, don't eat pork. That's plain, right?
Yep.
Don't worship idols. That's plain. Don't lie. That's plain. You see what I said? You got some one more.
That's like you get a perfect example. Like the scripture say, "Not eat pork." They go there, they say, but then they have none of the scripture.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You know, but that's all. That's what Jake says now. You know, the instruction says, not that's they proceed to go and do that, and then they get mad at the repercussion that comes with doing that. So how
You understand that ain't make no sense. All right, let's jump to chapter 22 and verse 3. Yeah.
this Proverbs 22 and 3. The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
So who's the prudent? The wise.
Wise God.
You understand? The ones that the Lord is dealing with. And if we see evil coming, that's why we're gonna hide ourselves. All right. Which that's plain and holy. See what I said? But this is a stumbling block to the wicked. It says it right here. It says the simple pass on and the punish. That's the 2/3, the ones that make things complicated. You see what I said? All right. Let's jump to second Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 2. All right.
2 Corinthians 11 and 2. For I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Mashiach.
Right. And this is going into us following one doctrine. Right? One Lord. Speaking about Yahweh being joined unto the church. All right. And we are chaste because going back and forth, trying to complicate things with the scriptures. All right. Read the next voice, brother.
Verse 3. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Mashiach.
Right. So this is very simple to be a brother. You see what I say? You learn the scriptures. Teach the scriptures. It's that simple. You understand it's complicated because you're wicked. So the Lord isn't asking you for much, but He's gonna give you everything. It's that simple. So like you right. So again, wickedness is complicated because what is right? When you read Deuteronomy 28 chapter, and you read from 14 verses, it's plain. Does He give you a list of blessings? Right? Very simple. But when you read from 15 straight on down to 68, that's where it gets complicated. You understand? You see that? All right. So from there, let's grab Matthew 22:14. Right. So the Lord being always already has chosen with the elect, right? And they're gonna get it. And guess what? That's plain. Ain't nothing complicated with that. All right, that plain, that simple. All right, so the Lord He ain't gonna make it for them because He's not the author of confusion. So again, the man of the Lord is gonna be speaking plainly, and this is plain to the holy. But if you're wicked, guess what? It's gonna be complicated to you. You understand? Can't get no easier than that. Now I said the Lord is not the author of confusion. Let's pull that precept. Right? 1 Corinthians 14:33. Right?
First Corinthians 14:33. Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, in all churches of the saints.
Right. So now guess what? Let me ask this. What is confusion? That sounds like complication to me. You see what I said? And when you look up that word confusion on the online etymology, it says it means to overthrow, ruin, disorder, mixing to confuse.
Lack of understanding.
Right? So the things that is confusing, it brings disorder, which is complication. You see that? So Yabashem Yahushai is not the author of confusion. So that means he's simple. You see what I said? Right? So everything is simple.
Yep.
All right. Going back to that definition again, right? For confusion. With confusion means with mixture. Con, which is which is together, or with, and fusion is mixture. So again, the truth is plain. And it also is a separation.
There's light, there's darkness, there's good, there's the mixture.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Is infused. Good is infused with evil.
Separate among them.
That's it.
When you look at weights and balances, you have something on this side, and you have something on that side. See, they don't mix.
Right. All right. Now, let's get Matthew 13 and 10. All right, like you want to look up a word from Madura. Matthew 13 and 10.
And saying, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand.
Matthew 13 and 10.
And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Right. So again, this is letting you know that hey, this is his word, his ways is playing to the holy, and the stumbling block, and it's complicated to the wicked. Right? And let's read verse 11.
Verse 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Right, that's plain and simple right there. But what we're gonna do, right? Let the brother look up the word mystery right here. Let's look up the word mystery, brother.
Mysterion, hidden thing, secret, mystery. Generally, mystery is religious secrets confined only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. A hidden or secret thing, not obvious to the understanding. A hidden purpose or counsel. Secret will of men, of God. The secret counsels which govern Most in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from the ungodly and wicked.
You hear
Say
that?
it again, Baptist.
Hidden purpose or counsel, secret will, meaning of men. Of God, the secret counsels which the Most High governs in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from the ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly.
Right. All right. So hidden things, secret, mystery. A religious secret confined only to the initiated and not to the ordinary mortals. Right? That's plain and that's simple. You can't get no damn easier than that. So if you was called into this marvelous light, guess what? Those parables and those dark sayings from Yahweh Shai will be plain to you. You will be able to go into anything. Or I don't go into nothing that I don't know about. All right. Read the last one again. Wicked, the last thing.
The hidden purpose or counsel, in the secret will of men. Of the Most High, the secret counsels which the Most High governs in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from the ungodly and wicked men, plain to the godly.
You see that? So again, the truth is plain to us, but it is hidden from niggas that ain't right. These ain't my words. You understand? Yahweh Shai tell you that himself. It's clear as day. All right. So yeah, man. All right, I got one more. Then we can get over here. All right. We're gonna go into the book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 8. We're gonna have a closer look and examine one line in Genesis chapter 3, verse 8. Okay. So I want to go into this lesson, like I say, focusing on this particular verse. All right. And this, a particular line within this verse in Genesis chapter 3, which that's going to be the fourth man. All right. So someone could get the book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 8.
Genesis chapter 3, 8. And they heard the voice of the power of the hour. The Lord, the hour of the day. Adam said, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh. And the Lord, Yahweh, amongst the trees of the garden.
Read it again from the top, brother.
And they heard the voice of the Lord Yahweh themselves in the presence of the Lord, Yahweh, among the trees of the garden.
Right. And the reason why they hid themselves is because they sinned against the Lord. Right? But I want to focus in. I want to focus in on in the cool of the day, and I am applying that to this time. All right, where we in right now, which we're in the cool of the day, where everything is okay. In this time period we in right now, everything is okay right now. All right. So in the cool of the day is referring to while everything is okay, everything is all right. This is before the destruction comes. Just like how we're preaching before the World War III, the nuclear missiles happen, right before Yahweh Shai returns, while we're in the cool of the day. All right, before the Lord bring that judgment. So that's what in the cool of the day means. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get some precepts, all right, to support that. The next precept I got here on deck is the book of John, chapter 9, 4.
John 9 and 4.
Read.
I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can wait.
Right. Now, what does that night represent? All right. What does that night represent? That's the time of trouble. That's the time of trouble and tribulation, the time of judgment. So Yahushua did the will of Yahweh while he had the opportunity to do so. Right? Before the time came where he had to go up on the cross as a sacrifice for the nation of Israel. All right, and that night came. Right? Just like now. Right? That night is gonna come. All right, and that night represent what? Not only the New World Order, it represents a couple of things. The end of the Jacob trouble, time of famine and economic collapse, a time of sorrow, a time of death and destruction. That's what the nighttime represents.
Darkness.
Right? Read verse 4 again, brother.
This is John 9 and 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can wait.
Right. So this is that cool of the day that we're in right now. This could also apply to this time right now because guess what? We preaching this word while we have opportunity to do so. Because the time is going to come, all right, where we can't come out here no more on the streets and teach no more. Also, it ain't gonna be no more videos uploaded because it ain't gonna be no internet. All right, it's gonna be pure chaos and confusion out here. Okay, because it's gonna go over to the next phase of prophecy. All right, because the night is coming. So again, that night represents trouble. All right, and we're gonna get to these about that.
It says, "Now turn your feasts in the morning and all your songs of lamentation. Now bring up sackcloth upon all the loins upon every head. Now make it as the morning. All the days said Yahweh, said farming in the land, not a farming of bread, nor thirst for water, but of carrying the words of the Most High." That's a regular, the
Nighttime.
nighttime. You'll be able to just pick up your phone or open up your computer and go watch a video. You'll be able to just go online and just, if you want to figure out something, just go there and watch it. No, this word will have to be in you in those times. So if you use the daytime now, the cool of the day right now, to squander it, when that cold night come, you don't have nothing to keep you warm. You don't have no oil to put inside your lamp.
Done.
John chapter lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. Okay? So wait while, okay, you have the light, right? You have the light now, so the time now, wait till you walk in the light.
Right? While you have the opportunity. Right, so let's get Ecclesiastes 12, brother.
God. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Yeah, because people is gonna be starving. Death is gonna be everywhere. You're gonna have damn sickness everywhere, deadly diseases, famine, all right, which is the lack of bread and the thirst for water, violence from the sword. The sword could be used as any instrument for killing, all right? So this isn't gonna be a damn fun time, okay? This is a time of evil, bad times.
Yeah.
This is what the night represents. Read it again, brother.
God. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right. While the evil days come not. All right. This is speaking about the cool of the day. While the evil days come not. You see what's speaking about the cool of the day. While everything is okay.
Everything while there's light.
All right. From there, someone grab Ephesians 5 and 15. All right.
This is the book. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Right. All right. That's you checking your surroundings spiritually. You got to be circumspect. All right. That's what it's saying, right? Read the next voice, brother.
16. Giving the time as the days of the
So that's we gotta prioritize our time in serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai because the times are about to get worse. Because that's what prophecy says. That goes back to while the evil ones come. See that? Okay. This is the time we should be going more into the spirit while the evil days come not. So when the evil days do come, Lord willing, our righteous works and faith, right, will be protected and preserved from trouble and the judgment that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be dishing out in that time. We got to get it now. Okay? So in Genesis 3, they in the middle of the day, that represents while everything is okay. That's what in Genesis 3. Right?
God. This is Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the voice of Yahweh thy power walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh thy power amongst the trees of the garden.
So while everything was okay and normal, all right, this still applies to our lives right now because we're in the cool of the day. That's why we're doing the work and we're doing it while we have the opportunity to do so. All right, while everything is fine and okay. This is the time to seek the Lord while he may be found. All right, this is the time, to get your to get answers for your questions. This is the time to draw more and more into the spirit, this is the time in the cool of the day. All right?
That's it.
Yeah, I get a Salaki.
No, no, please use that.
Yeah, I get a precept to back up in reference to that nighttime, right? Um, this is Isaiah 24. We start at verse 8. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoices ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. All right, that's all going to happen during that time, that bad time. All right, people ain't going to be up, yeah, having fun, working it up, up here, not going to cease. They should not drink wine with a song. A strong thing should be bitter to them that drink it. So the people ain't gonna be going to the club having a good time, having a cocktail no more. Because guess what? It can be straight chaos out here.
Yeah.
You can't drink the have a good time no more. You know, you can sit back on your porch and chill up with some nice schlager. You don't have that no more.
God.
That's it. Verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and that no man may come in. And that city of confusion, that means football means confusion. Because guess what? Especially over there in America and all the rest of parts of the world, right? That place that's going to be shut up. Ain't gonna be no jobs. Ain't gonna be nothing. It can be straight chaos in that land.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a crying for wine in the street. All joy is darkened. The mirth in the land is gone. This equated with that night time. Ain't gonna be no more fun out here. All right, it's gonna be crazy out here. You know, and I can remember right on the corner there when we first brought on this precept when Crown Royal 19 verse said this is a precept we brought up. Y'all I can remember. Yeah. Everyone was watching our video seeking for answers, but this time you can see us no more. So we ain't gonna be out here. All right, that wine is a representation of the word. People want to put answers in the day. So when I think it's Isaiah 55 and 1. In the city is desolation, the gate is smitten with destruction. So that can be total chaos or in that time. What I say, the day down, so you gotta get
See, God values them. Learn any wicked shit. Learn and repent. All right? So with that, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Shem, Shalom,